Caddis Maximus here, this time with a quick review of the Harbor Freight 9-inch torpedo, billet aluminum torpedo level with 3 different bubbles, a 45, a 90, and a 180 degree. This is a neat little level, and it's obviously popular. This is the only one left on the shelf at my Harbor Freight, and I picked it up probably for the same reason many other people do, because it's kind of hard to find a heavier, solid metal level. There are many great levels out there, and obviously this Harbor Freight isn't the best one, and it's definitely not like a machinist master precision level, but it should work great for most people's construction activities. One thing I did want to mention is I kind of would have liked this bubble to be in this center section so they're all right next to each other, but I suppose that's okay. They do have a couple of scales on it. One is imperial or fractional, and then they also have a metric centimeter scale on the other side with machined flats. I looked at some of the reviews, and a couple people had issues with it rocking or not being flat. This one is really flat. It is absolutely perfect. I'm pretty sure about that. I have a little Stabila level, which is a German-made, and when I put both sides on top of it, there's no light that gets through. So I definitely know that, at least on this one, it's definitely pretty darn flat. One big comment is people wish it would have had magnets. This Billet has a nice long magnet, and I kind of wish this would have had some rare earth magnets, or something strong to get it to stick to metal things. That would have been nice. But there is an option. Let me reach over here. Harbor Freight does sell like these little mini refrigerator magnets, and you could actually on this backside drill a couple of little shallow holes, maybe 3 or even 4 of them, or as many as you'd like. And either glue in some of these magnets, or if you have like one of those Harbor Freight 115-piece drill bit sets, then you'd be able to find a drill bit that's just a few thousand smaller than the magnet, and you could actually press it in. And I'll probably do a little project video at some point actually doing that. So there is an option to upgrade it. What is also interesting is they did through drill all the way through the whole level, and so they could have just added a 4th bubble right here. They didn't really need to, but that option does exist, and I wanted to point that out as well. As far as its overall or general accuracy, when I put it next to the Stabila here, I generally get the very same bubble reading, so I'm pretty happy with the alignment of the bubbles as well. They do advertise that it has an accuracy of 5/10,000ths of an inch, or a half of 1,000th of an inch per inch across the distance. That means that it is, for their advertisements, pretty accurate. That means over this 9-inch, it would be 4.5 thousandths off in height on any one end if you're pivoting off the other end, which is definitely pretty good. One thing that I did like is, like on the Stabila, they have this bubble on top so that you can see it from the side or from the top. And then for 45s, they have like this adjuster here. What I like about the Harbor Freight is that they have windows on one side. They're not on the back side, but on the top side, they're windows. So you can also see the horizontal or 180-degree bubble from the top. But you can also see the 45-degree bubble. If we tilt it like this, you can just get in there, and I thought that was actually an interesting idea for the 45 degree, is to be able to see it through the top of the level. So I thought that was actually a good idea. And this seems to be what's kind of also interesting is they do have a serial number on it, and I thought that was kind of neat that they do indeed serialize these. One other thing I was going to mention is, for some reason, of all the products, this product actually uses like a steel key tag chain to hold on the label, and the part number for this is 69233. I think it's kind of neat that they use one of these little ID tag chains, because these are useful for key rings or any number of things, so it's a nice little bonus. But I was noticing that they use the same thing on the long ones, and they do have like 24-inch versions of these. And they've been hanging them by these chains, and the chains have actually been kind of nicking up the little eye hole, so I did want to mention that as well. And more than likely, people who've had some issues, there may be some manufacturing defects, but aluminum's amazingly easy to machine very accurately. And so there may have been some dings or anything, or something like that. So if you do drop it or do get some dings, just run it across like sharpening stone or a piece of sandpaper over the top of a sharpening stone. Sharpening stones, at least new ones, tend to be extremely flat, and that would be one way to deburr it and get rid of any dings that may be causing it to be inaccurate. The sides are also machined and pretty accurate, which I did like over the Stabila. And this is the only other torpedo level I have, that's why I'm comparing against it. But this little our movable vial for measuring angles does stick out from the side, and it makes it not useful when you're trying to lay it flat. And that's what I like about this one, is that you can lay it flat, and so you can use it on any different angle, either that way or, of course, via the ends. And that's really what attracted me to it, was the fact that you can use it on the ends or on the sides or each of the narrow sides, and thought that would make it a bit more useful. So anyway, I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there and give people a better idea about this level. I'll do one quick close-up here so you can really see. I mean, as far as on the eye, there is a nick right there, so that's not perfect. But overall, it's really machined pretty well. They cost like $10 with a coupon or something like that. I think the normal shelf price is about $15. Nice deep laser etching that's very clear. So it's really a nice looking unit, to tell you the truth. And you don't really see solid metal levels very often at all, especially for reasonable prices. Anyway, that was my review of the Harbor Freight solid aluminum torpedo level. I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out.